good and necessary thing. And one of my favorite poets in the world who went home to God this past week has something to say about courage. And I want us all to listen. So if you feel that nap attack coming on, hold off for a little while. Courage. This is what Dr. Maya Angelou says about courage. It is the most important of all the virtues. Because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue with consistency. Now, you can practice any virtue erratically, but not with consistency. I'm going to read that again. Courage is the most important virtue, because without it, you can't practice anything with consistency. Now, you can practice any virtue erratically, but nothing with consistency without courage. The feast of the Ascension is not about separation, it's about unity. In the early scriptures, we have a very Jewish understanding of heaven. Heaven is all about separation. We leave our bodies and we go to heaven. This feast is all about reading the Bible biblically. In the Bible, believe it or not, there is no separation. We can thank the Greeks for that. Matter and form. The Greeks did a great job with separating things. And why do we separate things? In order to explain them. But spirituality, friends, is not about separation. It's about unity. Having a Jewish understanding of the Scriptures is all about realizing that everything is connected. Heaven is a higher part of God. But Middle Earth is where we all are. And sometimes in our life we forget that. We can forget that laughter is a part of faith. You ever realize that? That you can be a Catholic and laugh? Every Sunday I get to laugh at you. Just looking at you, I get to laugh at you. Our faith hopefully exposes truth. The fact that you and I cannot make it without one another. And we have to have the courage to realize that. Faith is about us having the courage to let all of our fears and our questions ascend to heaven, only to come back down to help us. That's what this feast is all about. Christ ascended bodily. His whole body went to heaven, and it wasn't destroyed. And what's going to come back to us next week is the Spirit that is already with us. This feast is all about courage. It's about our courage to realize that God never, ever leaves us. We can never be separated from that, only if we separate ourselves. Reconciliation, friends, is all about binding ourselves to God. And we do that when we gather every Sunday to hear our story in those scriptures, to break bread, and to be with one another, to have courage to go out into our weeks. The greatest of all virtues is courage. This is the homework. If there is something in your life that you are dragging your feet on. Ask God for some courage. If we don't, we get lazy. If we don't, we are erratic. Ask God for some courage this week. With courage, we don't descend, we ascend. And know that I am with you always. And know that I am with you until the end of time. Thank you, Maya. Thank you, Jesus.